So one of the challenges that we have as leaders in the building service contracting industry is, what should our role be? As a business owner, I always struggled with that question. There's lots of operational demands, and as we're trying to grow our business or work with operational issues, we find ourselves getting sucked into various aspects of the business. So one of the things that I want to help you with, and specifically we'll talk more about this in this video series, but is how we can be better leaders. Often what passes off as leadership is really nothing more than management or operational effectiveness. But I want to talk specifically about how we can be a better leader in our organization and function truly as an owner or a CEO of our company. So, and this really, irrespective of your company size, these concepts or these principles apply whether you're a very small company or whether you're a large company. Now, they'll look different in how they work themselves out. And as you're a smaller company, you'll always be a little bit more involved operationally, but the goal is to continue to move your organization and your role into acting more and more as a true leader in your organization as opposed to an operator. This not only helps you as a leader, but it helps everyone in your organization and your company as a whole to be more like it can be for future growth. So I want to offer to you 7 things that you should focus on as a leader in your janitorial company. 7 specifics as an owner or CEO in your company of how you should the things that you should be filtering through to figure out what should I be doing. Okay, the first one is your focus on mission, vision, and values. I talk about that a lot, but it's critical. As the owner, as the leader, that's something you can't delegate to somebody else. It's something that can only come from you. You set the tone, both culturally and in terms of your vision, and also morally in your company. So you set the cultural tone, and it's up to you to set that tone and to make sure you propagate that to the rest of your team. Your second job as a CEO or as an owner and executive in your organization is to be a strategic planner. Again, you're at the helm of the organization, so it's up to you to chart the course in terms of strategy for where you're going to go. And by strategy, let me tell you what I mean. So I don't mean that you're figuring out how to do things better, how to be more efficient at what you do. I mean figuring out where you want to go and then aligning the organization in order to get you to that spot. So making sure the right people are in the right spots, making sure that the technology that you're using or the systems and processes that you're using are the right things to get you where you want to go. So you're thinking strategically about where I'm at now, where I want to go, and are all the pieces in place to get us there. It's on you to be thinking strategically to make sure that stuff is happening. Number 3, your third role as a leader in your organization is to focus on the health of your organization. So how do we do that? So a part of that is looking at your numbers, measuring things in your organization. So just like with your own personal health, you measure your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your BMI, other things like that, and all those give you different snapshots of your health. In the same way, you need to be looking at different facets of your organization on a regular basis to see how healthy you are as an organization and are you trending in the right direction. So you should be monitoring your profit and loss statements, individual job cost statements, your balance sheet, maybe how well you're training and developing your people, and you can measure that. You should be looking at your recruiting numbers and your retention and your account retention. All these things are giving you different pictures of your health. So that's the third thing you should be focusing on as a leader. Number 4 is you are a salesperson. So a lot of you that are in the smaller stages of your company, you're by default the salesperson. For those of you that are larger organizations, you may or may not be doing some selling. But as a leader, you should always be involved in key selling decisions and key selling to key relationships at your company. So as an owner, you're in a unique spot to offer value in a selling situation, whether it's to a prospective customer or an existing customer. You can bring something to the table that no one else at your team can. So I would encourage you to be involved in key relationships, key sales. Number 5, the 5th role as a leader in your organization is to recruit good talent at your company. You're the CRO, the Chief Recruiting Officer. You should always be thinking about how you can add to the talent pool at your team. using your network, your relationships, wherever those are, maybe at church or school relationships or business relationships. You should always be on the lookout for people you can bring into your company that will help you guys build the team and the culture that you want to get you from where you're at now to where you want to be. It can't be overemphasized how much the owner can be involved in making that successful. Number 6, and it ties into number 5, is as the leader of your organization, you should be involved in investing and mentoring people that work underneath you. Again, this is another thing that can't be delegated to somebody else. You have people that work under you that are looking to you to help develop them professionally. And so you can't pawn that off. It's something you should be investing in your people and helping cultivate in them the skills and even some of the personality things that will help them advance professionally, but also advance the goals of the organization as a whole. And last but not least, number 7, you are responsible for managing the retained earnings of the organization. So as the owner, the buck stops with you financially. So you should be overseeing the finances of the company in terms of decisions that you make with money that is left over. So you're a steward of your organization. Your customers, your employees, your team, everyone is counting on you to manage that money well, to be a good steward of the money that you have. And so you should always be in the know of how the money is being spent and what the leftover money is being used for. A lot of times owners can be very good at growing an organization, but they're terrible at managing the money. But you can't pawn that off as something you need to be integrally involved in the decision-making part of it. So again, this is a lot of things, right? But it gives us a framework as leaders in our company to know how should we operate, what things should we be doing. So if you can keep these 7 things in mind as you go about your tasks, as you plan out your week, as you plan out your year, you should always be trying to move from managing and operating to more that leadership role where you're beginning to focus more and more on these things, and these 7 things begin to take up more and more of your time. If you do that, you'll become a better leader, but also you'll see your organization begin to grow because it forces other people to assume the roles that they should be fulfilling in the company.